for the invade
It's just
lane
we're
switch.
checking for yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, you invade into lane switch, right?
Yeah.
That's just what you do. So, fast forward.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
The invade wards, you lane switch,
Minions have
and then you
spawned.
double jungle with Elliot, and
Yep.
you start blue, which is good because you know you want to secure your blue buff straight away, so you can maybe 3 buff them if they start red.
Yeah.
Right, that's okay. Okay. In the instance that you do switch, the first thing you want is you always want your support to check their other buff, right?
Yeah. Wait, they're blue in this
Yeah, yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do lane switch, you always want support to check. He did it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The next big thing is, um, I've already shown you guys how to do the proper lane switch. I think it just comes down to practice. So you really need to get your bot lane to practice lane switching.
Okay.
What I mean by that is you always want the wave to hit on the catapult wave, right?
Yeah.
And you want as
Third
many
wave.
creeps alive as possible. So there's like a huge like portion of like things that they could have done better as a top laner, as a bot lane. Sorry. First and foremost is that Yazuki has Spores of War, so that's like 3 stacks of gold that he could be getting, right? It's like 20 gold, and if he does that again, then 60. That's a whole ward, like that he could have gotten, and that's pretty big for early game. The next thing is he can be taking the creeps a lot more, right? To keep more of your creeps alive, so that when it hits a tower, you have more creeps on it, right?
Okay.
Little things that I've already shown you guys. I think it's just a practicing. Like they just need to practice it because I think
Yeah,
either
and
they're
just keep it in
forgetting
mind.
or they're just not keeping in mind. So here comes the third wave, and by the time the third wave hits, like they're not even close to the tower yet, and they should technically be just about approaching the tower. Obviously, once that happens, Hack, you have to go to top, right?
Yep.
And Elliot can just keep on farming and doing what he's doing, right? I think you accidentally take his red here as well.
Yeah. That was bad. His XP was the same though.
Okay, so I'm fast forward to after you take the tower down. Okay, so after you take the tower down, your next move is to send yourself bot and to leave Jinx top. Okay.
Okay.
That's what you guys do. That's
Yeah.
like literally what you do. Obviously, like what I say is not 100% correct, but like there's a lot of merit to it. So the thing with Jinx is she is a hard push champion. She's really good at taking down towers, right? And Kog'Maw is pretty bad in the early game, and he just wants to farm, right? He won't take towers as quickly as Jinx. So what you ideally like what the Chinese people do and a lot of teams do is they get Jinx on that early Berserker's Greaves, and then they just put her in the tower lane and just get her to kill the towers one by one.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So we should switch your bot straight away.
Like, I'm saying you should, but like, it's not necessary. Like you have to, right? So if you do keep Jinx top, there are things that you need to do, right? So the example is if you send yourself bot and you put Jinx top, this should ideally be frozen on you, so it'd be really risky for you to farm here unless you have wards. Okay, but the problem lies with Jinx. Like if Jinx isn't protected, then she's gonna get ganked as well.
Yeah.
So, in this scenario, right, you're sending your support bot to ward for you, and your top and jungler is gonna go. I think he's gonna go top side. I'm not really sure. Like I don't see any direction with your plays here. So Yuzuki just walks here and then here and then here. The problem is, right, in this scenario here, they have Cog, Ali top, Maokai bot, okay? And the lane is pushing in. So technically, you shouldn't be here because it's very dangerous for you. You could get ganked by at least you have no protection and no warding.
Yeah.
So that technically isn't your lane right now. And top lane isn't your lane either because they have 2 top and you have only 1 top. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So that means that technically Jinx isn't safe and you're not safe either. So you just put yourselves in 2 dangerous lanes. Make sense?
Jinx is safer though because she's freezing it towards the tower.
Yes, but there's no one top, so technically she's not safe. Like she's safe.
Okay.
She's safe if she's protected, if she has wards, and if she has people there. But if she doesn't, then she's not actually technically safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So, in the instance that Braum went straight top, and Echo was farming topside, she's 100% safe, and it'll be very dangerous for their bot lane to be here because he can get ganked early. But the enemy team has information on where your support is, and that makes it a 2v2 instantly, right? Even if your jungler does come and you TP, that's okay. You TP to save him, I think. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
So if you are to put Jinx top, you need to keep her protected, like at least with wards. Like you have to ward before you start roaming and start making plays on the map, and that's largely on Yuzuki, right? He needs to really understand that, where to ward and why. Also Elliot, like you guys need to kind of coordinate where you're going and why, right?
Yeah, like often I'll find myself in, like, especially playing against you guys.
Yeah.
I remember that week, like often you would just deep freeze a wave,
Yep.
and then I can't go down there, and then like at that point, what am I? Well, what's the best way to use my time?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Is it just too far gone, and we should have frozen the wave before that, or what?
there's no right or wrong. Like the thing is, so when someone freezes on you, you need to break the freeze, okay? And you can break the freeze in two ways. You can break the freeze with bot lane and jungle, or you can break the freeze with top lane and jungle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we push the wave in the tower.
Yeah. So, but that's like that has to be instant, right? So after you take that first tower up top, you need to then say, okay, where do we go next? What do we do? Is Jinx gonna freeze top? Okay, if Jinx freezes top, Braum goes top, puts wards there and protects Jinx. Echo goes bot, helps me shove it in, right?
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Or if you want to stay as a top laner, if you have like a hard push comp like Tristana or Jinx, for example, you stay top, you freeze the wave, you get ready to TP bot, and then your bot lane goes bot and just farms. Make sense?
Okay.
So,
But then they freeze top, right? If I hard push.
no, you freeze top. You're freezing top.
Oh, I thought you said hard push.
No. You freeze top and get ready to TP. You don't need to hard push. Like you just freeze it. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they'll eventually come to you and break the freeze. Like, I like to make the rule, especially with my team, to always give top lane the freeze if possible. The reason is because as a top laner, you don't have much pushing power, right? Especially early on, and you don't have much tower killing potential. So, if you're top, you can freeze, and then you can just teleport anywhere.
Okay.
Whereas, the AD carry can be in other lanes and make more meaningful impacts. It's so much easier for the AD carry support to break a freeze than a top laner. So after I take the first tower, I always like to have the top lane take the freeze. It's a bit different for you guys because you play tanks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not as valuable for me.
Yeah,
but
it's not as valuable for you. So, in the instance that you want to funnel farm into your AD carry, it's a total legitimate choice. You just need to play around that. So you need to protect your AD carry, right, with wards, and then you need to either double jungle with Elliot, or you need to try to get wards down on bot side to help you farm this, right?
okay.
The problem arises when they have like a carry top laner, maybe they take Gangplank or Fiora, and you have a tank, okay, and they freeze on you like this. If they freeze on you like this with Maokai, nothing happens. If they freeze on you like this with Fiora, you're fucked. You go to lane, she'll be level 6,
Yeah.
you'll be level 4. So you can't really do that, right? In this instance, I think it's okay. But you just need to know the difference, really. So,
Yeah.
if, for
So
example, they do have Fiora, you need to send your bot lane to match that Fiora. So if Fiora's facing bot, you need to send your bot lane bot.
okay, yeah.
Because that makes it harder for Fiora to farm,
Yeah, of course.
and it breaks the freeze, right? And Fiora's easier to dive. Like, squishy tamps are easier to dive under tower, so that helps too. But that's... maybe I need to have a talk with you guys about lane switches. Do you need that, or do you kind of get it?
It's always been sort of a weak point. I don't know, just
Okay.
it's like I suppose I went bot again, Jinx freeze, and you say the best thing to do there is send Elliot to come help me break the freeze.
Yep.
What if they send their support and jungle bot and we get 3v2'd? At a risk?
It is a risk. It is a risk. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we're pushing all the way to the tower, we've got no tower to fall back on.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, that's the thing. So you need to, or you really need to ward before you break any freezes, right? You don't just go blind and break the freeze. So, you know, for example, you buy one ward, Elliot buys one ward. He puts his here, you put yours here. I'm sorry, he puts his in the dot brush in river, you put yours bot side river, right? And then you walk bot together. Like, you should be relatively safe. And like the only thing you need to do is, you know, you kind of need to gauge. So like, if you walk in 2v1 and Maokai stays, you obviously know it's going to be dangerous, right? Because he has something. But if he starts backing off, then you just shove in and then you back off and you farm Grump and Wolves together. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So
yeah,
things after you break the freeze, after you get that wave to the tower, you technically don't need to be there anymore because the wave's going to come back to you. You know, you can roam, you can, you know, farm jungle. Like, there's lots of things to do.
Yeah. Well, like in this instance, we try to make the play 4v2 top.
Yeah.
While Maokai freezes, which I think if that worked out, then maybe maybe that's our problem. Because like when I'm frozen on, I usually try to make plays.
Yeah.
Like by roaming bot.
Yeah.
Usually, but like if it doesn't work out, then yeah, I get behind. Like in this game specifically, I'm like 30-40 CS on Maokai by the time we actually start laning.
Yeah. So Maokai and Jack Attack don't really punish that kind of thing, but if you play against like aggressive top laners with aggressive champions, they will punish you. You know.
Yeah, that's sort of why I want to fix it.
So the thing is, if you want to look at the scenarios, right? At 7 minutes in the game, they have 3 lanes of farm. So Maokai's facing bot, Cog's facing top, Varus is mid. You have 0 lanes of farm right now. Well, you have 1, really. Mid is the only safe lane. And you don't have wards to facilitate you pushing deep. Okay, so had you stayed top and just freezed and broke bot, you know, like, you need to do something now, right? You need to either break bot together or, you know, send one top to break top. Like, the best thing to do now is to break bot. You know, like, this is your best case scenario because Kog'Maw is top farming, right? So you obviously have a number advantage. So you can go bot and break that and get the tower there. And Dragon is down. Who took Dragon?
They took Dragon.
Okay, right.
At some point.
Yeah.
It was after they took tower, but or something.
So take bot tower. Diving. That's good.
Yeah.
Flash. So now you know Maokai has no flash.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And you go top to freeze top. Right. You don't have TP. That's something you need to watch out for, right?
Yeah. Wait, did I just use TP then, or?
I have no idea, but you don't have TP.
Can't remember.
I think you might have TP top. I don't think you should have TP top.
I can't remember where I used it. It's
The
like
thing is, if you're gonna freeze the lane, the most important thing to have is your TP. Right? If you freeze the lane, you're technically useless. But the thing is, if you have TP, then you're not useless. You know, you can choose to impact the map at any time, and you can just keep it frozen.
okay, yeah.
Next thing I really want to emphasize is vision. Like, you guys are always really behind in the vision game, and you like to stack wards. Actually, these two are okay. These two are pretty good. But yeah. What's it called? Galix always told us to always get vision on like one side of the map. Okay. And if possible, get it on 2. But you don't want half vision. You want full vision, right? So you want the full bot side or the full top side. Okay. So if you have vision of the full bot side, for example, because you know Dragon's up, then if they're not bot side, they're top side. Make sense?
Yeah.
But if you have one ward in top side and one ward in bot side, then you're not really sure either way, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's pretty much jungle, mid, and support have to work on that. I mean, you can buy a ward or two, which is okay. Always get that trinket early.
Yeah.
So you just keep that
But I
in the bag.
think what I tend to do is instead of freezing with TP, I'll push and then look for TPs.
Okay.
So you're saying I shouldn't be doing that?
Well, I'm
Like,
not saying like there's different, like every game is different, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But that's just my tendency, I think, is to push the wave and like force pressure top,
Okay.
and then make a TP. And so while I'm TPing, then they also have to deal with the wave that's pushing to tower.
You can only force pressure top when you can beat the enemy top laner. Right?
Yeah,
As a tank,
but
you don't really have the tendency to beat the top laner. You guys just shove in and out, like you shove against each other. Right? So is that kind of what happens?
I guess not pressure, I guess isn't the word, but like the bait of like a big wave hitting their tower.
Okay, right.
Or like see like the wave now is like pushing up against. They have to send someone top. Like Maokai's already there, but like
Yep. Okay, so
if I do that and then I make the TP play, then it
Yep.
forces play on the TP point, and that's just like how I look at it.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean that makes sense. There's obviously pros and cons to both. The thing is, if you
Yeah.
do that, like then you're giving him farm. So you technically gave him two ways of farm that you didn't need to give him.
Yeah. I think it is more risky because if the TP doesn't like result in anything,
Yeah.
then it's
And then
just
he
they
can
go
freeze
top and it's fine. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what happens a lot.
So yeah, if you constantly shove, you're giving them free XP that they shouldn't get. If they're killing the creeps, it's so much better for them than if their creeps are killing the creeps. Right?
Yeah.
The creeps technically always die. Obviously, if you push, you can get a lot more. Like you can get a lot of things out of pushing. Right? So the two main things you can get out of pushing is obviously map pressure, right? But the thing is, you need to consolidate map pressure. So if you gain map pressure, the next thing you need to do is ward, right? If you push out the lane, then you need to ward their jungle. If otherwise, there's no point of pushing out the lane. Okay.
Okay.
You don't gain anything. Like obviously, okay, you force them to come, but like if you freeze, they're gonna eventually come to you anyway to try and break that freeze, right? They technically have to break that freeze because you have too much wave clear for them to take anything. With this 3 mid, if you have this frozen, what are they gonna do? Like, they can't push mid. You have too much wave clear, you have bomb to protect, and you have echo gank, and you have your TP as well if they ever try to fight. But yeah. What else was I going to say? The next thing you can do is if you push up, is you can take the enemy's creep camps. Right? A bit harder as a tank, but remember how I emphasized the importance of stealing camps and starving out enemy jungle?
Yeah, we've been trying to focus on that a bit more.
Yep. Has it been helping?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. So yeah, that's you as well. There's a playstyle on you. Obviously, there's pros and cons to both. So sometimes freezing is bad. Right? Freezing would be bad if they have like a hard push comp. You don't want to freeze against that because they're gonna want to push. But when they have late game scaling comps, you need to starve them as much as possible, right?
Okay.
So in the instance that for example, Kog'Maw and Varus are sharing gold mid, that's good for you, right? That's ideal, right? Their mid and their AD carry, their two carries are sharing XP and gold. That's what you want, right? So if you freeze top, maybe Maokai goes bot, right? And then their Cog Varus goes mid or something, or that even better, their Maokai goes mid and starves their mid laner, or goes jungle and starves their jungler. Like, the thing is, if you're always pushing, they're always getting 1, 2, 3 lanes of farm, and you're getting a lot less because you kind of lose the wave advantage.
Okay.
A summoner has disconnected.
At this point, they have to go bot. Like, we know they're gonna send someone bot.
Yeah. So you're trying to get mid.
Yeah, we should be
thing is,
making a play
You're
somewhere on the rest of the map,
against
right?
Varus, like you're against hard.
Yeah, that's true.
It's super hard, right? best play you can make here is to gank top, right? Or to break bot freeze. But like I said again, what you need before you do any of that is vision. Okay, so if you had vision bot side in their bot jungle, then obviously you could break this freeze quite easily. If you don't, then you can't, right?
Yeah.
Or you could gank top, you know. So Elliot would need to smite Raptors, and then gank top. The thing is, like, look at their vision before Maokai goes up, right? Because he's got so much vision in your jungle, it enables him to move up and just farm this dangerously. Whereas you have no vision bot side, so you can't be here, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you guys need to do as a team. You need to get that vision one side and then control that. This is they're pretty good, right? They're not good mechanically, but they got good game sense, good teamwork, I think.
Yeah, this game especially, I think they played the map really well.
Yeah.
Did you look at the other game as well?
Nah, I didn't. I've only got this game. I'll look at the other game probably tonight. I have a coaching session maybe as well with some other dude.
Yeah, it's alright.
I told him I'd do it at 5. Oh shit. Oops, never mind. I got it on Thursday. I fucked up. Whoopsies. Okay, I'll just fast forward through the rest of the game, see what happens.
Been destroyed.
Yeah, should we have given up that drag? Like,
So,
or did we just not have the vision?
yeah, you just don't have the vision.
Yeah.
Thing is,
How do you work about like just pushing forward for vision? Is it mainly Yuzuki and Elliot pushing together,
well,
or
like it's like as a team thing, right? So if you know that it's safe to put wards down, then you can put wards down, and then it's easy for them to put wards down. If that makes sense. So if you, for example, ward the top side with your trinket, keep it completely warded. As soon as someone comes bot, Yuzuki knows it's safe to put wards on the other side of the map. Make sense?
okay?
So that's why warding is a teamwork, right? You can't just expect your support to just carry all the water, because that's how they do it. That's why Ian does it, because he emphasizes vision so much that he just dies for it sometimes. And it's literally once per game he'll die for wards, which is really bad, but that's what he does.
Yeah, Yuzuki sort of does that as well.
Yeah. So, but the reason, it's not Yuzuki's fault. Like, if he doesn't try to get vision, then you have no vision on the map. So it's a lot to do with you guys as well, especially.
Yeah, I know. Like, what I've been trying to say is like Yuzuki, if you're go for that sort of vision, then call for someone to come with you at least, or like let us know that's your plan so we can.
Yeah. So his plan becomes like a lot easier if he knows where everyone else is. So a lot of it is down to you and to Elliot as well.
Yeah.
So an example here is like they're all bot side, so good places to get vision would be here and here. In addition to here, you clear this ward too, and you're pretty sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
I noticed that Elliot and Brendan don't really focus a lot on vision denial, so their sweeps are just like meh sweeps. They could just sweep forever. So it's good to keep track of where the vision is. If you gank top and they react, you're like, okay, they have vision in our top jungle, or they have vision in our bot jungle, stuff like that. In terms of mechanics, it's hard to really talk about mechanics in an individual lane switch lane, because you're really playing against the creeps. It's mostly macro play.
Yeah.
I think that's where you guys would probably lose in promotional series, if they get lanes switch a lot. because you know you win in the mechanics, but you'll lose in the lane switch. I think
Okay, yeah.
I'll talk to you guys all about lane switching a bit more.
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Probably tomorrow or tonight if you guys are free. I actually have a PT session tonight at 10, so
Yeah, I think we've got a best of 5 scrim against ABS again. That's at 7:30, so it might be over by then, but it might not be. No, well, if you have to go at 10, then no, we probably won't have time.
yeah.
That's right. We can tomorrow check the calendar thing. I think.
So you lose today, right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
A summoner has disconnected.
You're not really that behind.